A 68 Hemi Charger that's one of a kind. Don't worry, we'll tell you why. There are certain muscle cars that seem to transcend brand loyalty. And for example, this 1968 Dodge Charger with the factory 426 Hemi is one of those cars where Corvette fans like these, Chevrolet fans like these, Ford fans like these. It just seems that everybody likes 1968 Dodge Chargers. And of course, there was that TV show where they had the orange one that they jumped over all kinds of stuff and crashed every week. That was actually a 69, and that show introduced a lot of people to the Charger. But today, I don't really look at that car as a prime muscle car like I do this particular example. And the collectability and desirability, I guess, of muscle cars can be measured in several different ways. First of all, is it a popular car? Second of all, does it have a strong engine? Third, is it in good condition? Fourth, does it have, a lot or very few options? Fifth, is it the right color? Well, this thing is the total package. I mean, the color is out of this world. It's got body-colored wheels with dog dish caps and redline tires. Inside, it's got power windows and bucket seats and a 4-speed. Of course, under the hood is the 426 Hemi. And not only is this car the only Hemi car 4-speed with this color combination, it's also got just an amazingly well-done restoration with beautiful body gaps and a perfect finish. But this car looks a little bit different than most Chargers because it's very basic looking. You'll note there's no vinyl top, there's no stripe around the tail, just a big sea of code LL1 medium dark turquoise metallic paint. And it's very shiny and it's very nice, but it doesn't have all the racy stuff of some of the other Chargers. But the secret is that it is hiding a factory 426 Hemi under the hood, but there's no center console and there's nothing real fancy about the car. It does have a power-actuated 270 air conditioning system, which is kind of unusual in a 1968 Charger. That means you roll down the power windows and drive 70 miles an hour because none of the Hemi cars came with actual air conditioning. They just couldn't fit the bracketry on the front of the motor and keep it under the hood. So power windows on a Charger, especially a Hemi car, is pretty unusual, but this car has them. So let's see here. We've got a great style, being a 68 Charger. We have the 425 horsepower dual quad 426 Hemi engine under the hood, which makes any car desirable, especially if it was factory installed and numbers matching like this one. And when that Hemi is bolted to a 4-speed manual transmission, so far we're hitting all the elements to make this car very desirable. And then we get to the color. It's pretty unusual. Not a color you see every day. And the car is wearing a beautiful restoration, so the paint is far, far nicer than it ever was when it rolled off the showroom floor. It's very smooth, it's very glossy, it's very wet looking. And, this color, when it's wet looking, it's a watery looking color. I mean, it's almost like driving around in a big fish tank. It's like you carved out a Charger out of a piece of the ocean. It's a beautiful color. And what's even cooler about it is that with the 426 Hemi and the 4-speed and the black interior and no vinyl and all the stuff this car's got, this is the only version known to be painted in this code LL1. So now, visually, this car is also a one of a kind. So now the whole picture starts to come together on why this car is such a hot item. It's got the looks, the style, the power, the performance, and it's a one of a kind. And when it comes to performance, of course, being a 426 Hemi Charger, these are big cars. They've got heavy-duty suspension and brakes that go along with that Hemi package. Car Driver magazine got a 13.5 quarter mile at 105 miles an hour out of one of these big Hemi sleds. So it could compete with these smaller pony car style muscle cars on the street all day long. And I think if this thing pulled up next to you at the stoplight, you might look across and say, oh yeah, it's a pretty good looking Charger, but again, with no stripes and no fancy wheels, you might not be ready for what's waiting for you when the light turns green. There there's a whole herd of these Hemi cars here in the Brothers collection. And if you like this kind of stuff, you might want to cruise over to our website at musclecaroftheweek.com, where you'll find a library of Hemi car and other muscle car videos. That website's open 24 hours, so you can stop by anytime you want. We'll have another cool car for you next time on Muscle Car of the Week.